Today I'm looking at partial fractions. Okay? So in partial fractions, we're going to try to resolve an equation, bring it to its lowest term, and be able to find the simplest way of representing that equation. Now for this example, we're going to be looking at typical fractions that have the denominator to be quadratic equations, and we're going to try to solve the partial fractions. But before we go to the example, we're going to try to walk you through some of the steps that can make this really easy. First of all, things you need to always remember is you should try to remember your factorization. And if you have a problem with that, I've done some videos on factorization that will help you go through this. So now, for example, if you're given a typical example, a question that has a numerator and a denominator. So you have this example, numerator and denominator. Here you see your denominator as what? X squared minus 4. Whenever you see something that's raised to the power of 2, it's a quadratic equation, and you're asked to resolve it into partial fractions. Now, what do you do? Now, these are the steps. So just relate this to here. And if your P is 6 minus X, and your Q is what? X squared minus 4. And you're resolving it to be what? A over F1 plus P over F2. What this means is, after you have factorized your Q, as I said, after you have factorized your Q, in this case, let's say what if you factorize? You want to factorize Q. Our Q is what? X squared minus 4. To factorize this, go back to previous videos to give you an easy way to remember this. We talked on different ways and steps of factorization. So here, factorizing this is x plus 2. That after factorization, x minus 2. If you expand this, you're still going to arrive at x squared minus 4. So you factorize this. So it's saying that to do this, you break it down to f1 and f2, where this f1 and f2 are the equations after factorization. So you can say here is really your f1 and here is your f2. Alright? So let's do. What are the steps of factorization? First is what? Factorize your Q. We have done that. So it means this equation can also be written as 6 minus x all over what? X plus 2, right? X minus 2. Next what? Write the equation as a sum of two partial fractions. These are the sum of two partial fractions. So we're having this is our original equation. X minus 2, the sum of the two partial fractions is a all over what's f of 1, we check that is our x plus 2 plus b all over what? X minus 2. The next step says multiply both sides by f1 and f2. So multiplying everything here by f1 and f2. Let me try to get this out of the way. I'm sure we can still remember what happened here, so that I can have some space. Okay? So I'm going to, after this, I'm going to multiply both sides, which is the next step, by f1 and f2. So I'll be having here 6 minus x all over x plus 2. X minus 2, I might be multiplying both sides by f1 and f2. f1 and f2 are these two. So I'm multiplying both sides by x plus 2, x minus 2 is equals to a x plus 2, x minus 2, all over x plus 2, right? Then plus, forgive this thing is quite small, plus b, right? X plus 2, x minus 2, all over what? X minus 2. Trying to see how I reduce this. All over x minus 2. Please just follow this. So what do we do? When we do that, we try to cancel out. No x plus 2, we cancel this. This will cancel this, that goes. When we come here, what can go? X plus 2, we go x plus 2. When we come here, x minus 2, we go to x minus 2. And our equation now becomes 6 minus x is equal to what? Ax minus 2, right? Plus b what? X plus 2. So we have done our third step, which is multiplying both sides by f1 and f2. So the fourth step says to solve for a, which we're trying to find the a and b, that's the whole essence of partial fraction. It says to solve for a by substitute values for x for which b will vanish. That's if you want to find a, substitute values for x for which we will be able to eliminate b. And vice versa, also to solve for b, substitute values of x for which we will eliminate a. So for this, I'm going to have to clear this so that we can continue from there. So for this, let's continue. Let's bring back the equation. We're having 6 minus x equals what? Ax minus 2, right? Plus b what? X plus 2. What's our rule? To solve for a, we have to do what? Substitute values for which b vanishes. So what you're going to just easily do, you should take the equation with b and equate it to 0. That's how you find for which the value for which b will vanish. So in this situation, you want to find a, right? You want to find a. So what do? You take x plus 2 and equate to 0. So x will now be equal to minus 2. Right? So we'll now solve. For x equal to minus 2, for x equals to minus 2, we'll put it into the equation. Put into the equation, all of it. We're having x equals to minus 2, so we're having what? 6 minus what? Minus 2 is equal to a open bracket minus 2 minus 2, x minus 2 plus what? B open bracket what? Minus 2 plus 2. You see with this, minus 2 plus 2 is 0. That's how we are eliminating b. So, let's continue. We'll now be having this as what? 6 minus minus 2 is now 6 plus 2 is equal to what? A minus 2 minus 2 is what? Minus 4, right? Plus what? B minus 2 plus 3 is what? 0. So we'll be having here what? As A is equals to minus 4a. Therefore, right? Our a is equal to what? 8 all over minus 4, which is equal to what? Minus 2. You need to put this in the bracket. You now put your a here is equal to minus 2 so that you can easily find it. So the same thing, I said, and vice versa. If we want to find b, we have to eliminate a. How do we eliminate a? To find b. How do you eliminate a? Now put x minus 2 is equal to 0. That means x has to be equal to 2. Similar process, we substitute into the initial equation. So that means for x equal to 2, put in all equation, right? So what are we going to be having? Bring this one here. Having a 6 what? Minus 2, right? Is equal to a into what? Minus 2. A into what? 2 minus 2 plus b equals to what? 2 plus 2. So after this, what are we going to be having from here? We're going to be having this as what? 4 is equal to 0a plus 4b, right? So it means what? Our b is equal to what? 4 all over 4, which is equal to 1. So this is our b. So for us to have resolved this into partial fraction, we have to recount how we have put our initial equation. That means resolving this into partial fraction with our initial equation. We're having this as what? Remember we had a all over what? X plus 2 plus b all over x minus 2. So we're having this as what? A is what? Minus 2 all over x plus 2 plus what? B is what? 1 all over x minus 2. And that is your final answer.